a universal education care whereby everybody is getting education all the way from primary school, secondary school, and the university. Why is the government abolishing all these things? Are they constitutionalized in our previous constitution because you are the CEO of the country, or is it not constitutionalized? Make us Kenyans understand on this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mamake. Sir, allow me to allow another individual, a man in this case, to ask a question so that we have gender balance, and then you're going to answer, questions posed by the two individuals at once. So, Guaro Brian, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, the news guy. Our CJ, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for finding time and sharing with us. Most of us are Gen Zs. We are happy having you here, and we are happy talking to you and sharing whatever that we feel we should ask you. For me, my question is only one. Now, we've been told that our country has, they've made the bodies independent. But as we are seeing things, the bodies are independent on paper. How are you going to make it to be possible that each body is independent as they are talking now? Thank you.
Thank you very much. If I may start with the questions by Mama Brian. Thank you, Mama Brian, for the questions. Your worry about IEBC is my worry, and I believe it is the worry of every Kenyan. IEBC, even from the Kriegler report, which we got several years back, is supposed to be in place at least 3-4 years before the election. Why is that period required? There is a lot for IEBC to do. There is civic education to be done. There is the registration of voters. There is even the limitation of boundaries, and even preparation, the actual preparation, thinking about the equipment, how you're going to conduct the election. There is a lot to be done. That's why the Kriegler Commission said IEBC should be in place at the very least more than 2 years before the election. We know when the IEBC, the last commission has got out. It has taken a long time before even an attempt or the first move was made to reconstitute it. No reason has been given for that. Why wait for that long? We have several constituencies where the by-elections should be held. There are wards where by-elections should be held. The people of those constituencies and the wards have no representatives, simply because the government has not taken the correct, the action it is supposed to take to reconstitute the IEBC in time. Now, as we speak, IEBC commissioners have been selected, but they have not. The process has not been completed because of challenges that have been taken to court. I don't want to talk about those challenges. I don't want to, because the matter is in court. But what is it telling you? The process was not done properly. If the process was done properly, perhaps those court cases would not be there. And I don't know how long this is going to take. It's a very, very serious issue. And even the selection and those who are already recommended, there are issues that are being raised about that. As I said, they are in court. So when you deal with the IEBC like that, you affect the process of elections. And the issue of having a free and fair election is now a challenge. That's what I can say. Now, bursaries, Mama Brian, you've said it correctly. Why don't we have a national body dealing with the bursaries? And in my view, it is there. The Constitution places disbursement of resources at 2 stages. The national stage and the county stage. I believe the governors are the ones who are supposed to give out the funding, because that's part of their duties. But you see that there has been this pull and push. The MPs want to control that. Even the senators, now it is, there is even an act that should give, seeking to give them some funding, some powers to also control that. Ask yourself, why are all these groups jostling for that funding? To control it, so that they can use it for their own political ends, or even for their own business. You know the auditor's report about how that funding is being misused. It's being used for personal benefits. So that's a challenge. If I am given an opportunity to lead this country, those are among the things we will streamline. We will streamline so that we don't have. We should be worrying about how to raise enough money so that we can give to universities and schools for our children to have education without any problem. Brian asked a question about pyramids. What was it? Sorry.
I'm going to invite him again to be able to ask that question.
About that.
Yes, and no problem at all, sir. And just as an icebreaker, someone said...
I've remembered. It was about the independency of the commissions and the other institutions of government. In our constitution.
Actually, in his words, he said that our institutions are independent on paper.
Exactly.
But on the ground, mambo ni different.
Mambo ni tofauti kwa ground, mambo ni tofauti. And I agree with him entirely. The Constitution provides the criteria. For example, the criteria for the people who should man those commissions and institutions.
Yes.
When it comes to recruitment, mambo ni tofauti, as you have said.
Yes.
And people get into those positions who are least qualified to run them. People get into those institutions who are out there to listen to what those in government are telling them. In other words, they go there to serve those in government rather than serve the public. And as a result, the Kenyans have lost faith in those institutions.
Yes.
Given an opportunity, those are the institutions we will get them back, give them their independence, the independence the Constitution requires of them, get the right people to man them, and the demand results. Because we are all accountable. When you are given a position, you're paid by the taxpayers' money, you are accountable. Independence does not mean that you can do what you want. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Allow me to break some ice. There's a question posed in the comment section. Ameuliza, does the CJ ever smile? Anakonga too serious. I'm a junior judge. There you go. There you go.
We're discussing serious matters. We are discussing serious matters.
Asante sana. I was just breaking the ice, to create room for the next batch of questions. Next we're going to have Miss Minor.
Hi everyone. Thank you, News Guy, for the chance, and thank you, Dr. Maraga, for availing yourself. So today my question, it's about our healthcare, the SHA shift thing. So if today you were to be elected and be the president, we can see how that insurance, they cover how it have messed up our citizens. So how are you planning to make it better when you're given that opportunity. And another thing, I'm asking in terms of the affordable housing, if you're to become a president, will you continue with the project? And if yes, how will you make it secure for each and every citizen so that we don't feel as if those affordable housing won't be available for each and every citizen? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Okoth Opondo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the great opportunity that. Sorry. Thank you so much for the great opportunity that you've accorded me. Bwana CJ, asante sana. Here on TikTok, watu nasema ukitubamba, we send flowers and coffee to you.
Thank you.
So let people do that. Amazing sana. Thank you so much for joining us for this platform. My quick question is on the issue of patriotism. We are living at a time that it looks like we've totally lost it because of so many things, lack of trust in leaders. Every young Kenyan is dreaming amalize tu shule ama hata kama anaenda kusoma abroad na siwahi rudi Kenya. People would rather even die, and I mean it is very strange at the moment that we are living in. And I know during the times ya watu kama nyinyi mkilelewa, yani kulikuwa na ile kupenda nchi yako that you lead hata kama kuna shida, but we have to still fight and make our country possible. What then should we do maybe as young people to restore that love for the country so that even as we keep on fighting, we fight for a better country? Then the second question, itakuwa on the issue of sometimes they say that when we go out to demonstrate mara tunaharibu vitu na nini, but I'm just wondering, with the anger amongst young people and Kenyans in general, how then do we have a thin line? How do we have that line between kuweka fujo, kuweka force? Because you see, when the government is coming with force, it is almost difficult. Someone who doesn't understand the language of words, to use a language of word kwake, force can only be met by force. How then do we make sure that tunapigana vita yetu ile mzuri ya kukomboa nchi, but also still having ourselves bila ifujo yote? Maybe you can just share with us your wisdom. Asante sana. And the news guy, asante sana for hosting this.
Thank you so much, Okoth Opondo. And just to add context to Okoth Opondo's question, sir, how do we heal as a country? If you read the mood of the country seems to be bitter. The country seems to be hurt. How do we move from here, sir? How do we move from this situation of the country, being bitter and hurt, to a point of restoration, a point of healing? The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ms. Maina has asked about healthcare. Before she came in, we had NHIF. It was performing well. We all agree it was not performing optimally. It had a few challenges here and there, most of which, in my view, were as a result of corruption that was there. In my view, if that had been streamlined, if proper system was put in place to deal with the corruption, we need not have changed from NHIF to SHA and SHE. Now, the SHA and SHE that has come in, first of all, you would have expected that when you are changing from one system to another, great care is taken to ensure that there is a smooth transition. But that is not the case here. That's not the case. I mean, it was started as if it was an emergency that could not wait proper planning. And as a result, quite a number of people are suffering. When somebody is sick, you can't tell him, okay, you wait for 1 week. So we are sorry about your pain. You wait for 1 week, we will come back to you. That is the dehumanizing act I was talking about. That yes. We need to change. What we will do is, I have a team working on healthcare, and we are looking at other countries where it has been successfully run. We're thinking about. I was told there's one we are thinking about, looking at how it has been done, where the citizens have been asked to contribute, and the contributions are graduated. There is no complaint at all. Those who are not able to pay at all, the government pays. But those who are able to pay, the payments or the payments that they are making are graduated according to one's income. And people are very happy. People are happy with that. Even here in Kenya, where some people are being asked to pay, some are paying a lot of money. I have talked with a few young people. I've talked with a few people who are employed. They are saying even if this was maintained and they see results, they see people being treated. In fact, I talked to one gentleman who told me that his parents are not alive, his siblings have taken care of themselves, and he's here. But he said he would be happy if whatever contribution he is making can help his neighbor at home. He will say, this is my contribution to society, and I will be happy. The problem we have with those payments is that Kenyans are not seeing results for that. And all this is as a result of corruption that has come in. The system which has been set up, it costs that much. I was told, is it 104 billion?
Yes, over 100.
To run?
Billion.
Are you telling me that Kenya has no capacity to come up with a system much cheaper that would help us? We have IT experts in this country. I know that as a fact. We couldn't use them. We have some in government. We couldn't use them. We have professionals who have been taken to school by the Kenyan people. And yet they are not being utilized. Instead, we are outsourcing at exorbitant prices. And I'm told that program has even a component of it, which is sucking money from the people to people's pockets. Those are the things we should stop so that we can move forward. Affordable housing is another issue. It comes. Initially, people were told that those who are contributing are going to get houses, and there was a lot of debate and saying, look, some of the people who are being asked to pay have already taken mortgages and they are paying. Now you are imposing on them something that they have not accepted, they have not participated in. Later on, we were told, no, this is a tax. And it is being used even for other projects, including building stadiums. And you can see where the Kenyans' anger is coming from. Nobody is listening to them. Nobody is taking into account their issues. As quite a number of employees, you have structured your salary, the affairs of your income to meet what you get. You have so much you are paying as loan, you have so much for school fees, you have this. Quite a number of them are left with very little. Now, when you go and take the bit that they are left with, you create them a lot of economic stress. So that is what is there. I mean, if I took power, I will stop that immediately. I will stop that immediately, and if we have to come with a housing project, we come with a housing project that will be embraced by the Kenyans themselves, and that the Kenyans will be happy about. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we had
we talked about the other question from court is about patriotism.
Yes.
Kenyans are people who love their country. That I can tell you. Whenever I've traveled to other countries and I meet Kenyans, They love their country. They know that even out there we are respected. People out there say Kenya is a wonderful country, and it is true. We just need to get our act together, and we will not have a problem of people not being proud of their country. I have gone out there wherever I've gone to conferences. I see Kenyans getting everything they can, including bracelets with the Kenyan flag, showing people that they are Kenyans. The Kenyans are proud of their country. It's only that the conditions at home are made are repressive, and that's what we people are fighting against. How do we heal? A very simple thing. Those who are in power come down from the ivory tower. Listen to the Kenyans. Listen to the Kenyans. What are they complaining about? If it is something you cannot deliver because you are restrained by finances, tell the Kenyans so. If I was in power myself, I would say, okay, you want this, you want this, you want this, but our economy cannot afford to provide all this. What I'm able to provide is this, because this is how much money the KRA has collected. This is how much money we have borrowed. This is how much money we have received in forms of grants and donations, and this is how we have utilized it. If you are open to the people and the people trust you, they don't expect you to perform miracles and give them what is not realistic. So the healing that is required, as I've said, is let those in power, let President Ruto come down from the ivory tower and face the Kenyans and tell them, look, we have a problem here. I have had you. We are going to deal with it, this and that. Last year, when the Gen Zs demonstrated, he dissolved the cabinet and told them, no, now we are going to listen, we are listening to what your complaints are. Do I need to tell you that, he just made cosmetic changes and nothing changed. And as a result, that's why Kenyans are bitter.
Yes.
That's why Kenyans are bitter. Those in power are talking at Kenyans. They are dressing them down. A government is there. Government officers are there to serve people. Sorry, those about those who are saying that I don't smile. How do I smile on such a serious issue? But thank you very much. Go on.
Thank you so much. Before I allow the next batch of questions, I just want to request us, those of us who are asking questions, to keep it short. If possible, keep it one question per person. Keep it at one question per person, so that we have more people getting a chance to ask questions. Also, keep the comment section civilized. I'm going to add a moderator, I believe, and I'm really glad about the conversation you're having so far. So next you're going to have Grace Njoki and then Galma Dido.
Good evening, everyone. Dr. Maraga, it's an honor to be in the same platform with you. My name is Grace Njoki. My pleasure is all mine. I was the lady who was at the Ministry of Health and was dragged down when I said Asha is not working. So it is an honor to be in the same floor with you. Yes, and I'm really passionate about that, Sha, and I think I would say one or two things that when you become a president, because we are all rooting for you, you really look into that system, because there are so many things that are lacking in that system. Even the way they are trying to say that it is supposed to be treating everyone and it is service for everyone. I have had many people reaching out to me because they saw that I was able to talk honestly, and Right now what is happening is that when you enroll, you are no longer paying on the monthly basis. We are being forced to pay per year. It has no longer become a monthly contribution. It is now a yearly contribution. And the lowest, some people have come up to say that it is 1,000. Initially it was 300. It has gone up to 1,000. So now when you find you're being given 12,000 shillings, when you say you're unable to pay, they give you a loan to pay off. And then of course that loan comes with interest. So it is a sad state of the health facilities, and there are no drugs. Like we saw the other day where KEMSA was asking for money to be given to need the drugs, to what is it called, the drugs that had expired. They were supposed to be disposing, so they were asking for billions. So now here we are with no medicine, and yet they're asking for money to dispose drugs, billions. So actually the health sector is something that we really need to look at when we become our next president. I wish you all the best. Sorry, I just need to add on one more question. Please check on our corruption. It is on very high levels that every day we see reports of how money is being taken left, right, center, and finally to reduce our loans. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Before I allow the next speaker to ask a question, I just want to add context to Grace Njoki's question, and that's the question on corruption. We have seen corruption evolving to the point where public servants per se currently do not steal money meant to pay people. What they do is they receive money from the national government, especially county governments. They receive money meant for suppliers from the national government, put it in fixed deposit accounts for a period of time, let it earn interest, take that interest, and then of course use the money as it was meant to, be used to pay the suppliers. But then this leads to delays for suppliers, of course, so they do not get to pay bills as they were supposed to pay. And so to add context to Grace Njoki's question, sir, how are you then going to deal with the evolving face of corruption? Galmadido.
Yeah, thank you so much, the news guy. I really appreciate. Justice Maraga, I had the opportunity of meeting with you when you visited Democracy Festival in Denmark. We were those Kenyans who are holding the flag there, and I really appreciate. Direct to the question, Justice Maraga, we have a country whose foreign policy has been at the lowest, and as we are currently speaking of our involvement in the war in Sudan with the issues of RSF, we have a credible issues going on with how the aspect of international law was followed when we were sending our police force to Haiti. We've been reduced to jokers, Justice Maraga. I mean, our name in the international scale is really in doubt. So my question to you is, what will your foreign policy for this country look like when you take the power? And the second question, I wanted to also ask you on what's happening with our counties. The Senate recently appropriated 415 billion Kenya shillings for the revenue allocation to the counties. Justice Maraga, I come from northern Kenya, and when you look at the scale of corruption, when you look at the scale of lack of accountability, when you look at the scale of how members of county assemblies are traveling to Malaysia, they are traveling to London, they are traveling to Washington, D.C. for something they call benchmark a kind of meetings, how are you going to really ensure that the fight against corruption at the county level is streamlined? Because there are a lot of cases we are seeing. Our governor is facing a motion of impeachment next week, I think, but everybody is in the dark. Everybody is saying he will jump over the corruption case, including other governors also in Kenya. How are you going to streamline the fight against corruption at the county level? Thank you so much.
Thank you. grace. Let me start with grace. The payments for medical care insurance, medical insurance. This is supposed to be affordable. This is supposed to be affordable. How do you ask Mama Mboga, who's making 200-300 shillings a day, to pay what is required 1 year in advance, and expect that lady to pay? We're not even being realistic. We are not being realistic. This is why the Kenyans are so angered and bitter with the current government. It's like it doesn't care about their feelings. And that can be done, and can be done very well. So, I mean, Kenyans are crying because of those stiff payments that come and perhaps wipe whatever was in your account, and you are left to struggle. Those are among the things that will need to be streamlined so that it is affordable. In fact, when you make it affordable, when you even ask for small amounts, low payments, you will spread that. You will spread that across the country, and get many more contributing. You are able to deal with the issues that you have. That is extremely sad when you get those kind of demands. Corruption is something which is hitting Kenyans very, very badly. Besides outright looting of the public resources, there is a lot of wastage. Kenyan government officials are traveling all over the world, sometimes on trips which had no value at all. There's a time, I remember, a few years back, we were told that some MCAs were going to neighboring countries to benchmark. Those countries need to come to Kenya to benchmark. So the whole idea is they are not going to learn anything. They are not even interested. They're just going to sightseeing, and they are going at government expense with the per diems. That's all that counts for them. That wastage must be stopped. Must be stopped if we are going to run as a country. The looting of public resources. I have said this before. The greatest area where a lot of money is swindled is through procurement. Through procurement is through budget lines that are not there, and money diverted to people's pockets. And people are getting richer and richer when the Kenyan poor mwananchi in the village cannot even afford a meal. So it is like it is now at a level where it's like the entire country is working for those in government. When Ruto was campaigning, he was telling the hustlers that he's going to make their life comfortable. What the hustlers are seeing is now more repression than even at the time he came in. Because of mega corruption that has taken money from the government kitty to people's pockets. You can see the lavish spending that we are seeing all over. Young people cannot go to school, but they can see those in government flaunting wealth that they have not they have not earned. Somebody comes to power and is buying a house of 100 million shillings. Really? And he was not able to buy it when he was out there. If you ask him, if you challenge him to show you the source of his income that enables him to buy that house, it will be another issue. Corruption is one issue. If I'm given an opportunity, I will face head on. I know I will step on very many toes, and some of them very thick. But Kenyans, trust me, I will face it on. And I mean, those who have taken money which they have misused, we will use the legal machinery and recover whatever we are able to recover. Public debt is a big issue. It's a big issue. I am sure that if we utilize our resources properly, we don't need to borrow as much as we are borrowing. And any borrowing would be borrowing for projects that are going to revamp the economy, that are going to assist Kenyans. Now we are even borrowing for budget support. Really? When Kibaki came to power, I remember vividly, we were able to support our budget by more than 90%. By more than 90%. These days, you can't even pay salaries. You need to borrow to pay salaries. We can't go on like this. Otherwise, we are going to run into a serious crisis. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question was from Lido on
foreign policy.
Yes.
The foreign policy, the Kenyan foreign policy of non-aligned has been thrown into the dogs. People don't even know where we are. Are we aligned to the west or are we aligned to the east? Where are we?
Yes.
We have problems with our neighbors. The case of is it RSF in Sudan? It's a very sad state of affairs. We are interfering with the internal issues of another country. What kind of relationship are we building with that country? The other neighbors are watching. What kind of relationship are we having with other countries? DRC Congo, our armed forces were ordered out. So I mean, we can't live as an island. We need to live with our neighbors. What happens in Kenya affects the neighboring countries, and what happens in Tanzania also affects us. It is important that we maintain a relationship where the best interest of the country, not individuals, the best interest of the country is what governs our relationship with other countries. And the counties, I've already spoken about the counties and those who are going for benchmarking and wasting public resources. Those are among the things we should face head on. They will be painful. They will create a lot of problems for some people, but I believe at the end of the day, the Kenyans will be happy about that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's 1 minute to 9. If you're just joining us, we have been having a conversation for the past 59 minutes with the CJ Emeritus DK Maraga, and we have canvassed a number of issues. We've talked about SHA, we've talked about restoring the nation, healing the nation, we've talked about his manifesto, the pillars, upon which it's anchored. We have talked about for Kenya's foreign policy. We have talked about tackling corruption, and we still have another hour to have this great conversation. And so allow me to invite, I had Jenny ID. I'm really trying to, maintain gender parity here. So I need a lady to kindly request so that you can join Alvan Love in asking the next batch of questions. But as we do that, Alvan Love, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. News Guy, and CJ Maraga. It's such an honor to be sharing this platform with you this evening. It's beautiful to see that you are lending your experience, you're lending the time that you have had in this government, you are lending that and all the wisdom that God has given you and experience to actually help the young people in this country also bring up their voice. I will go straight to the point. I use satire and comedy to tackle a lot of things when it comes to issues in this government. And maybe as an icebreaker, I feel like I want to say this just so that we can relax kidogo. Kwangentire, this government, Kwangentire, they are killing us. They're killing us. And my first question, forgive my voice, it was taken away by the last maandamano, but tomorrow I'll be screaming like 3 women. So my first question to you, sir, is having held such a high office in terms of judiciary and law and constitutional keeping matters in this country, on the scale of 1 to 10, how constitutionally sound is this current government running this country? On a scale of 1 to 10, how constitutionally sound? Because you've been there, you've interacted with Constitution, you've interacted with the laws. How constitutionally sound is this current government running this country? That's my first question. My second question, which sounds like I'm almost asking you to go back to something you have already spoken over. At the point where we believe in you, I like the fact that I'm seeing on the comment section a lot of people saying, Dr. Maraga, zero scandal, right? That's a powerful tool. And you know what God says about that. He chooses the righteous to exalt a nation. Yes. I know you are a believer in God's word. He chooses the righteous to exalt a nation. My question is this: when we give you our vote, I kind of need something that is very definite. What are you going to do concerning corruption and how deep? We have sung this song for a little too long, sir. And you talked about stepping on some big toes. How big are those toes? And what are you going to do once you grab them? Because we need something definite. We need something that I can put my hand on and say, the moment I vote for Dr. Maraga, that this and this is what I should expect. You understand how big those toes are. You are the highest office. Probably a lot of files came before you. And half of it you are like, like what are you going to do? All right, and my third question, and the last one is this, sir. Who are you going to package yourself with? Who are you running with? The moment we say that we are now voting for President Maraga, who are you going to be packaging yourself with? And it's okay, you don't have to pick one. I don't want to put you in a corner, but I want you to give us names. Give us 1 or 2 or 3 at your liberty, sir. And thank you very much for being on the News Guys platform. We celebrate and we pray that God is going to give you all the strength that you need to get to where we need to. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Eugene. Thank you. Quite a powerful submission there from Alvan Love. Before you answer, those questions, Njambi. Njambi, can you hear me? Finally, yeah. Njambi? I think she can't hear me. I'll just let you answer that as I get the next person to ask the next question.
Yes, I can answer these ones.
Yes, you can.
Yes. Thank you very much, Alvan, for those questions. And I want to thank you for your comments and a promise for support. You asked about on a scale of 1 to 10 for this government. In my view, this government has very little regard for the law. Has very little regard for the law. It's like, I am sorry to say that, but that's a fact. President Ruto is like, as thinks that he is a law unto himself. Since yesterday, there's been a conversation about the church being built in State House. And the excuse we are being given is that there are employees in State House who need to worship. A fantastic idea. Haven't there been employees in State House who have needed to worship in the past? A kilometer away or a kilometer to 2 away from State House. Those people can't go out there and worship in those churches. That's not all. The president just decides to build a church he has acknowledged that. Let us not even go into the funding for that building. This is government property. That's why I say the president is behaving as though he is a power unto himself. He's a law unto himself. Which institution did he consult? I didn't even, some viewers can tell me I didn't get to know about that. What public participation? State House is the seat of power in this country.
Yes.
That's government property where literally every Kenyan is watching. So when you go into building a church in State House, you need to get the Kenyan approval. I don't know whether he got approval from Parliament or which institution gave him authority to build. There is none that gave him authority. That is a gross violation of the law. Which, if our Parliament was working, that's an impeachable offense. But we all know Parliament has been captured. Instead of taking action against him, they are defending him. And shouting at those who are complaining about that. And there are very many other things that are being done. We were talking about picketing, the demonstrations that have been there from last year up to this year. People are being shot with no regard to human life. And the president is just watching. A complaint is made by a senior police officer. Ojuang is dragged from Iso. He could not even be allowed to complete his lunch. He's dragged and brought to Nairobi, and he ends up being killed. What we see are junior officers who have been taken to court. And nothing has happened to the senior officers. It is very, very sad. So, without enumerating all that has happened, if I were to rate this government, I would give it a score of 1 to 2 out of 10. Well, the issue of corruption we will keep coming back to it because it is central in the governance of this country, and it is what has brought us to where we are. unless, my conviction is that unless we face this issue of corruption head on, and the Kenyans stand up and say, look, we have been slaves of the political elite for too long, we must bring this to an end. We are not going to get any better. If anything, in my view, if anything, we are going to get into a very, very serious situation. I was reading yesterday that the country can easily default in the payment of foreign debt. The economists can tell you that once that happens, it will be disaster. It will be disaster. Is it because we are not capable of servicing those debts? I don't think so. Those debts, most of them are odious. We have a record with the. There's even a case in court which has been brought by Honorable Umtata, and he has all our support of odious debt. We have borrowed money which has not come to the Kenyan people, which has not done anything. In fact, it has gone and put people mansions in foreign countries. And that is going on and on and on. I'm told these days the haven is in the Middle East. So unless we face it head on, unless the Kenyans stand up and say, let us stop this, we are going to find ourselves in a very, very serious problem. That's why I have offered myself, and I have said, we want to reset this country. We want to restore the dignity of the Kenyan people. We want to rebuild the economy. I am not going to do that alone. I have a team. I will put a team in place. I will get competent Kenyans, and they are not lacking. There are very many. I'll get competent Kenyans, and we work. There is no government of one person. Government is a government, as a head of state, yours is a leader. Is a leader, you get a team that works, and once you put it in place, demand results. Listen to what the Kenyans are saying and give them what they require. So, that's what I would say. So I missed Njambi's question. Oh, she didn't ask your so
Njambi didn't ask. Yeah. Njambi really didn't ask questions. The other question I think was from Alvan Love, and it was regarding how big are these heads that are going to roll?
Oh, the heads that are going to roll.
Yes.
Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm going to rely on EACC. EACC has records, and in fighting corruption, we are going to strengthen. We are going to facilitate EACC.
Yes.
Do its work. People are going to say Maraga is following them. I will not be following them myself. It is the law which will be following them. But yes, that law must be enforced so that people respect public property as public property. It's not their own. When you are elected to power, you need to give a blank check to go and take public resources that you deem it fit.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mamu, the floor is yours.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, don't mind my voice. I'm a little bit sick, but thank you, Dr. CJ Maraga, former CJ Maraga, for joining our live today.
I didn't get the name, madam.
Sorry?
I didn't get the name.
Oh, my name is Georgette, but in TikTok I use Mamu.
Mamu.
Yeah. So I'd like to ask you, I think 3 questions will be enough for tonight. Question number 1. Yeah.
Can we kindly make them 2, please, Mamu, so that we also, give an opportunity to others to ask us.
No problem. My number 1 question. From Chief Justice to presidential candidate, why now? Because you've long been since a symbol of judicial integrity. What made you decide to enter the political arena, which many Kenyans view as compromised? Why now? The question there is why now? Number 2. Number 2, from the 2017 election ruling, would you do it again? Would you do it again? Your decision to nullify the 2017 presidential election was historic and controversial. In hindsight, do you still stand by it? And what did it teach you about power in Kenya? Yeah, I think if you'll answer those 2, I'll be good. I was told to narrow them to 2, not 3.
Thank you, Mamu, and thanks for abiding by that. I'm waiting for Brandon. As I said, I'm trying to maintain gender parity. I'm trying to up Brandon. I don't know. I think his internet has an issue. Just give me some time kindly so that I get the next person who's going to ask the question. I'm trying to up people. I will do that. Remember, yes, finally, we have another. Go ahead, please. Remember, Chris, can you hear me?
Yes.
Amazing. Can I ask you a question?
Hello.
Amazing.
Hello. Okay. Thanks. Kwas evening.
Good evening.
Na asante sana kwa kumpata Bwana Justice retired Maranga. Kitu yenye ningeweza kumuuliza, swali langu la kwanza, wasifa zake za kunalify uongozi wenye ulikuwa unaingia 2017, ni nini ataweza fanya akikuwa president ama akipata hii kiti ya upresident this term? Atafanya nini kusaidia watu wako chini ndio wasikike juu regime zimepita kutoka hapa nyuma? Pesa ndio inaongea. Ni Kenya tunajuanga pesa ndio inaongea kwa uongozi. Ni nini kizuri anaweza fanyia mwananchi wa chini? Swali la pili, wanasema uongozi ni numbers, na wamesema campaign ya Kenya iko expensive. Yeye atafanya kampeni gani yenye tutaona iko different na kampeni zenye zimekuwa kutoka hapa nyuma? Asante.
Amazing. I think you can answer those.
Yes, I can answer those. Thank you very much for those questions. Mamu, you have asked very, very, very good questions. You have correctly observed that I was CJ. Why come into politics at this time? You're right, I'm not a politician. I've not been a politician before. And I was not, to tell you honestly, I was not thinking about going into politics. But what happened last year, I mean, very many things went on. What happened last year when about 20 of our youths were killed, many were abducted, and others were were injured, I found myself a very worried man. I found myself a very worried and troubled person. I said, look, I mean, is this the Kenya we want for our children and the grandchildren? I thought about it, and I felt very angry about what was happening. But I looked at it, and as it has been said before, that for you to mount a presidential election, you need, to begin with, you need about 10 billion shillings. I looked at that, and I looked at my resources. I said, there's no way I can do anything about this. I felt angry but helpless. As I was thinking about that, I met a friend of mine, and you know, people talk about what the current affairs. He was expressing the same frustration. And we all said there is really there's nothing we can do. It's like we are doomed to complete failure and anarchy. Then another friend came and called me and said, CJ, are you seeing what is happening in the country? I said, Mr. Who is not seeing. Then he says, are you thinking of doing anything about it? I said, yes, I will vote. Because that's the only thing I can do. He said, why are you saying it is the only thing you can do? You can do a lot more. I said, what? And then the issue of campaign funding came, and I told him it will not work. He said, as a matter of fact, they had discussed my name. He was in a conference in some foreign country, and they had discussed my name, and said I should think about it. I told him, go and tell them it is not feasible. He refused to take the answer and said, I want us to have a meeting with those people, because these are Kenyans who are troubled as you are troubled. Let us have a conversation. We had a meeting. To make the long story short, we had a meeting, and they said, look, you need to think seriously about what you need to do. I told them about the money. They said money should be the least of your problems. I was surprised. They said, you will ask Martin. Martin, I'm asking you. You will ask other viewers. You will ask Mama Mboga. Mama Mboga will give you 50 shillings and others, and you will get all you need. And the conversation started like that. So I felt that, and now, with that conversation, focusing my mind on what is happening in the country, that's why I have said, let me over myself. The choice will be the Kenyans. Let me over myself. I wanted to over myself to the Kenyans. I want to come at this age onto the political scene to serve this country. To serve this country. When I served as the Chief Justice, the Kenyans showered me with a lot of praise. And I was humbled by their confidence in what I was doing. So I said, let me over myself. I was told, politics is mucky. You will go there and you will be told many things. You will be called the terms. You will be given names. I said, some of these things somebody has to do it for there to be a change. And I am prepared to be taken through the murky waters of politics, if only for the good of this country. If I can make a change and bring it. So, Mahmoud, that answers you as to why I have come at this late hour onto the political scene. And with that, I'm appealing to all the Kenyans. If you buy my idea, support me. In fact, take it as your course. Support me, and I can assure you that I am coming to serve. I am coming to serve, and I will serve with all my power and my intellect. 2017 lessons, are there any lessons I learned from that? Very many lessons, and I've talked about that in conferences. To stand up, to be counted, I mean, to sit on the seat of the Chief Justice, to sit in the seat of a judge of the Supreme Court. You've got to make up your mind. Are you going to be with the people, or are you going to be with those in the political elite? I chose to stand with the people of Kenya because they are the ones who employed me. They are the ones who employed me, and I said it would be a betrayal to them if I didn't stand up with them. Mahmoud asked me whether or not I would decide the case the same way I decided. I've said that before. If I was seated in court today, you bring the same case with the evidence that was before the Supreme Court, I would decide the case the same way I decided it. And I believe that is important. That decision send a very strong message. And I want to urge the judiciary, the judges, we have wonderful judges in the judiciary. I want to urge them to stand up with the Kenyan people and overrule some of the decisions of the executive, which are detrimental to the state, which are causing havoc to the Kenyan people. The judiciary is there. That's your mandate. That's what the Kenyan people have given you. Please stand up with them. Those people will not like you. Those who are in power will abuse you. They will try to mistreat you. They will even threaten your own security. Yeah. But when you have the Kenyan people standing behind you, I can assure you, you will show them dust. The Kenyan people will stand behind you, and you will be. Kenyan people stood behind me, and I remained firm on what I thought was right. When I meet Kenyans and they say, CJ, they are congratulating me, there is nothing greater for me than that. At least I know I was of service to the Kenyan people. So that's what I will say. The lessons that we want to carry forward is that we are a democracy. That's why I said we want to reset. Some of these things, when they come, overrule them, and we develop the law. People respect us, people respect our country, and the investors will come in without any worry. In fact, soon after that decision, I went to the club, to current club where I'm a member, and I met quite a number of foreigners there. They were very, very happy with the decision. They were not contesting the election, but they were very happy with the decision. And they told me that with this, we are now comfortable. We know that the judiciary is doing its work, and if we have any business disputes, they will be resolved according to law. It's a very important thing that we need to do. Now, there is the issue. Member, you have asked the question. What will I do to alleviate the problems of the poor? As I have said, the poor have been dehumanized. I will endeavor to give every Kenyan, with the little we have, to restore humanity to Kenyans, to give them utu, I mean, let us just be human beings. Be human beings. And I believe that if we use our resources correctly, if we apply our resources correctly, we will do a lot of things. There is a lot of corruption going on and a lot of wastage. A lot of wastage. If I may give one example, we were told how many advisors does the president have? 30 or so?
Yeah, over 30.
Over 30. Each one of them, the country is spending about 2 million shillings a month. Does the president need all those advisors?
And to add context, that gets to around 60 million a month, which to a year translates to 720 million shillings.
Thank you. The president may require advisors. He has CSS. He has PSS. They are senior government officers in various ministries. Some of the work these advisors are doing is duplication. In fact, usurping the functions of the government officials who are there. If you're having several lawyers who are advising, what is the Attorney General doing? What is the office of the Attorney General doing? Those are among the things that we need to correct and redirect the resources to where they should go, so that the Kenyan people can be served. We need to deal with that. The poor need to be thought about, and how we can alleviate their challenges. There is one last question. Member asked, how is my? I didn't remember. I didn't write it properly. I don't. If you can allow him to ask the last question.
I'm going to allow that, of course. I'm going to give him a platform to answer that question. And now, just to break ice, because we've been having such a serious conversation for a long time, just to break some ice. What made you smile today? What's the one thing that has made you smile today, CJ?
That I have had this opportunity to talk to the Kenyans. To share my frustrations with them as they share theirs with me. I consider this a great opportunity, and it's a conversation we should be having. We should be talking to each other, not talking at each other. Not when I raise an issue, the next thing I hear is this man doesn't even know what he's doing. I am being abused left, right, and center. At least today I got an opportunity to come and talk to Martin and the others. It made me smile. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Back to the serious talk. Alvan Love wants to ask a follow-up question.
Yes.
I'm going to give him a chance. 30 seconds, Alvan. And then Eunice, you're up next, and then Martin.
Thank you, Mr. News Guy. Dr. Maraga, I am back. It's the guy with a broken voice.
Yes.
There was something you did not, there was a question I asked.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Which I am very caught up about, because as I look at you as a candidate for the change that we so desire in this country, I want to know.
Oh, yes.
A lot of Kenyans want to know.
I remember it.
Yeah, there was that one. And then while you're thinking about it, sir, I'm going to ask the news guy to allow me. He's very proper. He's very analytical, very structured. I'm going to allow him to just allow for me to have like a conversation with the CJ. I'm not going to take so long that I'll be out of it. So the question that I asked was, who are you going to give us 2-3 names of the people in this government, or not in this government, the people that you know are leaders in this country, that you are going to allow yourself to maybe run with? Because the graces are with you. We can see that very clearly, sir. The graces are with you. And then my second question, and I'm asking Mr. News Guy not to drop me as he answers that question so that we can just have a little tete-a-tete. It's such a privilege for us to have you here, sir. You must understand that. And I want you to know this. This is where Kenya lives. TikTok is where Kenya lives. X is where Kenya lives. And the fact that you allowed yourself to be on the News Guys platform, now we can talk to you.
Thank you.
We can hear you.
I'm going to update on
you. Right? You are breaking the barrier of the shelf and the people who are supposed to come and buy off the shelf.
Yes.
We don't take it for granted. This is where the mandamanos are planted. This is where they are ordered from. These are the conversations. If there is anyone in government who is asking where we start here. It is with the News Guys, the Galmas, the Githaigas, and all of those who are passionate about good governance in this country. You are exactly where you need to be at a time as this. Thank you for allowing yourself to be here. So everything that you're going to say, there is no way we're going to take it for granted. We're taking it to our hearts.
Thank you, Alban.
Even God allowed himself to be born in the likeness of Christ Jesus. For him to be born in the flesh so that we could relate with him.
Yes.
Thank you for allowing yourself to come this far. My question was, who are you going to be with?
Thank you very much.
In the race.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alban. Kindly let's allow the CJ to answer the question. For purposes of time, we only have 23 minutes remaining, and we've got really a long lineup of guys waiting to ask a question.
Yes, thank you very much, Alban, for that question. I am not going to run this race alone. It is not visible, it is not proper. I have to, this is not a one-man show. I am going to work with other people. At the moment, I don't want to give you any names. I am coming out with my vision for this country. I'm coming out with my agenda for this country. And even on this platform, I am appealing to those who buy into that agenda. Those who want us to reset this country back to constitutionalism and the rule of law and making everybody obey the law. Those who wanted to restore the dignity of the Kenyan people so that everybody feels that he belongs in this country. He's not a foreigner. Irrespective of his ethnic community, irrespective of the numbers that are in his community, and rebuild the economy so that we can all be involved in economic activities that will build this country. Those who buy those views, those who buy into that vision, I will welcome with both hands so that we work together. Because I want to have a team which is ready to serve the Kenyan people.
Have you not spotted anyone, sir?
I have spotted, and I'm having a team already working. Please let us not go into that, Alban. Let us not go into that.
Okay, sir.
Alban, thank you, Alban.
I respect that. Thank you. News guy.
Thank you, Alban.
So
News guy.
What I'm going to do.
News guy.
Yes.
Yes, Alban.
These are Pandisha Muhad. Pandisha Muhad.
I will. I've seen him in the comment section. I'm going to do that.
Thank you, see.
Eunice.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, CJ. Okay, it's nice meeting you, nice talking to you. Okay, my question is, why should the people trust you with the presidency? And how will your leadership bring real change for what the young people are advocating, like unemployment, corruption, nepotism, like these big seats like for CSs, all these managerial seats. We hear those seats are being sold to the rich. You people campaign on the ticket of you are going to help the poor. But once you get into the offices, the people you nominate for the CSS, those big positions, are people still with money. And we have children of Mama Mboga, children of Boda Boda who are learned and yet they are unemployed for more than 10 years and they can be really good. There is no opportunities for them. So what difference are you going to bring? Ama ukiingia kwa ofisi utaingia na watu wako. Will we see a difference in like our president alisema amewavuta but akawarudisha wote? That is what it's agitating the young people out here, because mnasema mnawavuta na mnawarudisha wote. So what the young people are crying out here is not the meaning of Ruto must go, is saying corruption must go. This opportunity should be open for all of us. So are you going ama ukiingia utaingia na hiyo team yako? Will I feel a different? Can at these tenders kama mnasema someone works on a tender, how true can that be? How can you bring a difference so that we can feel as Kenyans, even if I don't get the opportunity, the one who got the opportunity really deserved the opportunity? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eunice. Swahili.
Before you answer that, allow me to I'll ask Muad to ask a question. Ametupeleka mbio sana bwana CJ, so just allow me to give him a chance to ask a question. Muad.
Thank you very much, the news guy and Bwana Chief Justice Maraga. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I have like only two questions. One is put yourself kwa Ome shoes. How could you have deal up with Bwana Rigathi Gachagwa's case? Do you think there is an impunity, somebody else pressure, also something that was necessary to be done for the impeachment? Because as a young person pursuing bachelor degree in education, but I want to learn politics through online. That is what the youth we are doing. We are learning politics online. So we would like to know, you yourself put into Koome's, the Chief Justice shoes currently, and let us have your views. How could you have handled the issue? One. Two, what is your relationship with with the opposition? What is your relationship with the opposition? Are you having any dream of working together so that you save the country? My third question is, what is your concerning about the coastal region people, noting that I am from Lamu County? What is your point to save the youth, to better the economy, to better the infrastructure of Lamu County being isolated for the long period of time? Thank you very much and be blessed.
Thank you very much.
I think that's fine.
Moan, for those questions, let me start with them. Kitu ambao mimi nataka kusema ni kwamba kesi ya Mheshimiwa Gachagua iko kotini. Na mimi najua vile koti inafanya kazi. Sio vizuri kuzungumzia kesi ambayo iko kotini. Kwa hivyo na kuomba radhi tafadhali nisijibu hilo, sababu hiyo ni kesi bado ambayo inaendelea kotini. Umeuliza ya kwamba kama ninaweza kufanya kazi na wale ambao wako kwa opposition. I am ready to work with them. I'm ready to work with them. At the right time, I will sit with them. We will sit together. And I will put my agenda on the table. Let them put their agenda on the table. I suppose we will agree. Those who agree with my agenda, we will work together. And I believe the agenda I'm putting here is what the agenda of the opposition leaders. The issue is, we will come up with the terms on how we are going to serve the Kenyans. If we are serious, we are going to serve Kenyans, we must come and say, look, we want to eliminate corruption. And mean it. We want to get everybody to obey the law. We don't want those who have assisted us in the election campaigns to come and demand to be given tenders. I have told my team that those who are working with me must be ready that when it comes to the time I'm in power, if they want the tenders, they will bid like anybody else. I will not even be concerned with that. So that we are transparent. We want to run a transparent system that respects the people of Kenya, that sees the people of Kenya as people who matter, that sees the people of Kenya as people who have every right to the resources of this country. We'll do all that. Cost of people, wale ndugu zetu kutoka Coast Province, I am not going to give you any preferential treatment. We are going to treat everybody equally. If there are any injustices which have been committed to you, we will address them. Just as we will address injustices that have been done to other communities, even in our country. We have the James who are complaining for years. Their issues have never been addressed. So we will address the issues of that are challenges to our people, irrespective of where they come from. We will deal with that. I think I've answered those questions. Is there any I have not answered, Martin?
I don't think there's a question you haven't tackled, and I must say they were well tackled. We have 13 minutes. Of course, you may be gracious enough to grant us a little more, a few more that is. But just to break some ice and to ask a question of my own, we've had chance of half term, we've had a chance of one term, and as a country we stand on the brink, if you ask me. And Sabasaba is here, Bwana CJ. We, according to how the government is behaving, there could be bloodshed again. My question to you is, are there constitutional means that Kenyans can use to achieve, these goals without shedding blood? Because the cost in terms of lives is also becoming too much. And every weekend we are getting burials being televised live on television. What are some of the constitutional ways? Things like recalling members of parliament. What are some of these constitutional ways, other than these confrontational means that we are currently using? What are some of these constitutional means that Kenyans can use without shedding blood?
Thank you, Martin. As I said at the beginning, we are a constitutional democracy. A constitutional democracy means that we are governed by the provisions of the Constitution. For the president, if he listens to the people and he sees that people don't want him anymore, he can resign. That's one way. Number two, Parliament has powers to impeach him. And the Kenyans are asking what Parliament is doing. Because the president has violated the Constitution very many times, that if Parliament were to do its work,
yes,
they would have sent him home by this time. The third way of sending the president home is, of course, elections after the term ends. So we cannot do any, I mean, if we are operating by the law, we cannot do any other way. We cannot do any other way. The only problem and the only pain that there is that we are losing very, very many lives. And that's why I'm saying that how can Parliament sit pretty when this regime is literally taking the country into the Indian Ocean? When you have demonstrations that are, peaceful demonstrations, where those who are organizing the demonstration have given notice to the police, and the purpose of the notice is we are on to demonstrate. There could be goons who can come here who want to take advantage of the situation and break into people's businesses and the loot. A very sad issue, and I feel for those who have been terribly affected by the looting of their businesses. The government is supposed to have foreseen that and planned appropriate security to take care of that. The sad reality is that the government has not only used wounds, it has even ordered police to shoot and kill. That's the very, very sad indeed. Very sad indeed. Any reasonable Kenyan should not allow to continue happening. Come 2027, vote this regime out so that you can have a government that can listen to you. So that's what I can say. We find ourselves in that awkward position. If we are united and think seriously about what issues we are facing, let us get out of the ethnic voting and say, look, this one doesn't come from my region, this one doesn't come from there, because that is what is creating all these problems. If we can vote on values, vote on issues, I am sure we will send Ruto home, and a government that is sensitive to the people's challenges will be elected.
Thank you so much. We have 7 more minutes to go. I hope you're going to be gracious and enough to us to just grant us a little more time. Martin, Jeru, and Lynn, you guys are up next. Lynn, you go first, and then Martin. Lynn, if you can hear me, please ask your question. I think she can't hear me, so Martin, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Chief Justice Maraga, my first question is about campaigning. Now, we can see other politicians, they have strategies such as tribal divisions, like they spread hate among tribes, others use propaganda, others threats, others use political rallies to popularize themselves. Now, what are your strategies in campaigning, in popularizing yourself, your presidential bid? Because some people think that you are not vying, or maybe you are just winning it. And then and also your manifesto, like what are your key focuses? Because we need to understand you so that we can align with that. Like whatever you say now, this is the agenda we are pushing, so that we can help you in pushing that. Number 2 is I know going to rely on volunteers, but now I know so many people, even in this life, so much to volunteers in your campaign, but they don't know if they are part of it. So what steps do you take to invite or to